Good day, everyone. Let me introduce myself. My name is Gede Pratama Jaya Wardana. My last digit number is 035. In this video, we are going to talk about the basic concept of probability. In this lecture, we are going to number 1. Describe an experiment, outcome, sample space, and even in the context of probability. Number 2. Examine outcome sample space and sample point in a given probability experiment. And number 3. Appreciate the importance of probability through cheating situation in simple event. To start off, before we describe the technical term related to probability, let us first know what we mean when we say probability. What is probability? Probability is the chance that something will happen. Even cannot be predicted with total certainty, we can say how likely they are to happen. So, when we say probability, it is a chance or possibility of an event to happen. And now, what is probability experiment? Probability experiment is a chance that leads to a well-defined result called an outcome. For example, flipping a coin, rolling a die, and choosing a colored ball from a box. So these activities best illustration an experiment in a probability. Now, what do we mean when we say outcome? Outcome is the result of a single trial of an experiment. For the example, here we have an experiment and an outcome. Suppose we have an experiment of flipping a coin. So our outcome after flipping a coin will be either head or nail. Another experiment is rolling a die. So our outcome after rolling a die could be either 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So the head and tail and 1 to 6, this is what call of outcome or the possible result of our experiment. Next is sample space. So when we say sample space, it is the set of all possible outcomes or sample point and is usually denoted by the letter S. So when we say sample space, we are going to list down the entry possible outcome, and we say sample point, it is just one of possible outcomes. Let's go for the example. Here we have the experiment, sample space, and sample point. For the example, we have tossing two coins as our experiment. If you toss two coins, the entry possible outcome will be head-head, head-tail, tail-head, and tail-tail. And our sample point will then be one of possible outcome. So for example, here we have head-head. So for another experiment, here we have rolling a die. So our sample space will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. For our sample point, we can put one of outcomes. So for the example, we have 5. Another experiment is tossing a coin and rolling a die simultaneously. So we are going to toss a coin. Possible outcome are head and tail, and we roll a die. For the possible outcome are 1, 2, 6. So our sample space when tossing a coin and rolling a die simultaneously will be head 1, head 2, head 3, head 4, head 5, head 6, tail 1, tail 2, tail 3, tail 4, tail 5, and tail 6. Okay, so another third we need to know is even. So when we say there is any offset, one or more outcomes satisfying some given condition. So in the other word, even is similar to experiment, but there is a specific condition even. For the example, number 1, getting a telltale L when flipping a coin thrice. Number 2, getting an odd number 1, 3, or 5 when rolling a die. So here we have an activities list, the sample space for the following experiment. So instructions here is we need to list the entire possible outcome. For the example, getting an even number in a single roll of die. So the sample space when rolling, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So what is X is getting an even number. So the even number of the sample space when rolling is 2, 4, and 6. Which means 2, 4, and 6 is our sample space of getting an even number in a single roll of die. Okay, so now let's summarize what we have learned about this lesson. So when we say probability is the chance that something will happen, even cannot be predicted with total certainty. Number 1, probability experiment is a chain process that leads to a well-defined result called an outcome. Number 2, outcome is the result of a single trial of an experiment. Number 3, sample space is the set of all the possible outcomes or sample points. Number 4, sample point is just one of the possible outcomes. And the last, even is any set of one or more outcome satisfying some given condition. Okay, that's enough learning for today, and goodbye.